A crew member requires medical evacuation as ships are robbed off the coast of Singapore. This is from the Maritime Exclusive and it was published on February 28, 2025. Authorities in Singapore responded to an unauthorized boarding of a chemical tanker in the Singapore Strait on Friday morning, February 28, and evacuated an injured crew member. It's the latest in a spike of crimes along the Singapore Strait, but the first this year where a crew member required medical attention. Later it was reported there had been two other incidents earlier on Friday, with the group warning of a possibility of more assaults on ships. The Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore and the Singapore Civil Defense Force reported that the Singapore registered chemical tanker Bassett 49,875 DWT was boarded in the early morning hours of Friday, February 28th. The incident happened at 6:50 a.m. local time while the vessel was underway approximately 2 nautical miles outside Singapore's territorial water. The vessel's AIS signal showed it had departed Malaysia just west of Singapore and was transiting in Malaysian waters east of Singapore. The ship, built in 2019 and owned by Grace Ocean, and reported to have a service speed of about 15 knots, although it is unclear at what speed it was traveling and if it's currently loaded. The Civil Defense Office reported it received a request for assistance approximately 20 minutes after the tanker was boarded. 2 marine firefighting and rescue vessels were dispatched to meet the tanker and escort it into Singapore's anchorage. One crew member, only identified as a 29-year-old Indian national, was reported to be injured and removed for medical treatment. The police reported they boarded the vessel while it was at anchorage. They swept the vessel to confirm no perpetrators remained on board. The crew was accounted for and there were no other injuries reported. The incident involving the 182-meter or 599-foot tanker is the latest in the Singapore Strait, which is emerging as a hotspot for armed robberies, primarily against bulk carriers and oil tankers. There had been 2 other boardings that same morning. The first incident took place at 3 a.m. aboard a Greek bulker. Nearly an hour later, a general cargo ship was also boarded. Spare engine parts were stolen from one of the ships and nothing else reported missing from the other 2. Since the beginning of the year, there has been a total of 21 incidents, including the 3 on February 28th. The number of incidents has more than tripled versus last year when there were just 6 reported in the first 2 months. Most of the crimes have been occurring in the area around the western entrance to the Singapore Straits. I have to say it takes a lot of balls to try and get on one of these big ships that's doing 12 or 15 knots. But they do it. And they do it often, not just in Singapore, all over the world, unfortunately. Singapore Straits has been known for this for many, many years, and it seems it's getting worse. But why board a ship to rob it and then not take anything? All that work, all that danger, and you walk away with nothing? It also said in this article that most of them are armed with guns or knives or objects that look like guns. So they do come prepared. I don't know why they walk away with nothing. That don't make a whole lot of sense. It's a very dangerous game they're playing, and then to walk away with nothing. Unfortunately, for some reason, it doesn't seem like these guys ever get caught. Alright guys, there it is. As always, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you on the next one.